सुंदरे सुंदरो रामः सुंदरे सुंदरी कथा सुंदरे सुंदरी सीता सुंदरे सुंदरम वनम सुंदरे सुंदरम काव्यम सुंदरे सुंदरः कविः. Today is a Sundara Dinam, the auspicious day of Vijayadashami, the day of Vijaya, victory, victory over samsara. After worshipping Sri Mahalakshmi, today is the day where we take refuge in Narayana with her blessings. The Vedas declare, Hiranyavarnam Harini Suvarna Rajatasrajam Chandram Hiranmayim Lakshmim Jatavedo Maavaha. O Narayana, may we be blessed by Mother Sri Mahalakshmi. May we be bountifully blessed by Shri, who is the very personification of purity, the embodiment of purity, the dispeller of the darkness of Papakarma, the dispeller of dukkha, the delight of this universe, the bestower of wealth, not ordinary wealth, the wealth of blessings. May we be blessed by that Shri, who is the inseparable consort of the Parabrahman, Sriman Narayana. This glorious prayer from the Vedas captured several beautiful namas of Shri. Hiranyavarnam Harini Suvarna Rajatastrajam Chandram Hiranmayi Lakshmi. All these namas from this glorious Vedic prayer enable us to also relish the glories of Sri Mahalakshmi's avatara as Sita. When Narayana descended as Rama, Sri Mahalakshmi accompanied him as Mother Sita. Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra is Hiranmaya Purushaha. The Vedas call Bhagavan Hiranmaya Purushaha, and Ramachandra is Hiranmaya Purushaha, who glows brilliantly with matchless beauty. And Mother Sita is Hiranyavarnam, who has a glow that is brilliant, mesmerizingly brilliant, a beautiful form. She matches Rama in all aspects. Rupa, Guna, Saundarya, in all aspects. Therefore, she is Hiranyavarnam. Varna also stands for Akshara. Therefore, Hiranyavarnam is one whose speech is pleasing. Who else can come to our mind when we talk about the one whose speech is pleasing? It has to be none other than Sita Mata. Therefore, she is Hiranyavarnam. Harini, another beautiful nama of Shri. Now, an ordinary translation of Harini is a golden deer. Now, Mother Sita can be called Harini because she has an enchanting, mesmerizing, immeasurable beauty, golden deer like. Just like how a deer gets caught in the net by a hunter, a yogi who is a hunter-like yogi with the net of bhakti can capture her. Now, the moment we talk of Harini, one thing comes to our mind from Ramayana, the legend of the golden deer, which enticed Mother Sita. Now, did the golden deer entice her, and because of which she got abducted by Ravana? This is Mother's Leela. It is she who orchestrated to be captured. While reading the story, we can say Ravana captured Mother Sita and abducted her and took her to Lanka. The reality is she engineered, orchestrated in such a way that she got captured. She allowed herself to be captured, to be taken. In fact, she went to Lanka. She made a choice of going to Lanka for only one purpose, for the sake of thousands of Devakanyas who were imprisoned there for their liberation. Harini, what a wonderful nama. Harina niyate iti Harini. Harim nayatiti iti Harini. Harini meva Harini. Mother Sita is Harini. Harina niyatiti Harini. Niyati iti Harini. She is the one who participates in all the activities of Bhagavan. She is Sahadharmacharini. In the performance of dharma, she is always there together. Rama is dharmo vigrahava, no doubt about it. But Rama's dharma is not single-handed. Rama and Sita together perform dharma and demonstrate to us how to lead a life of dharma. Harim nayatiti Harini. She is the one, Shri impels, leads, guides Hari to do his duty. What is his duty? Bhagavan's duty is to protect all the living beings. And it is the mother, Shri, who impels Bhagavan to do this duty. It is Sita Mata who guides, who leads the way for Rama to perform his duty. Even before Rama could travel all the way to Lanka in order to destroy the evil force of Ravana, Mother Sita led the way, went before him. She leads the way in the performance of duty, and therefore she impels, she guides. Harini eva Harini. Mother Sita is Harini because she dispels the Papa Karmas. Suvarna, she is Suvarna. Varna is one who makes the choice. Mother Sita always makes the right choice. The choice of choosing Rama and Rama alone. An example for every jiva. The choice of choosing Bhagavan over everything else. Therefore, she is Suvarna. Chandram. Samgamyamanam dharayati iti chandraha. The one who is constantly moving, sanchara. Why? For our sake. All the way from Ayodhya, Mother Sita kept on moving together with Rama, and even before him to Lanka. Always constantly thinking of dharma and performance of Dharma. Therefore, she is Chandra and her beautiful Nama is Lakshmi. Lakshyatiti Lakshmi. One who has only one goal. What is her goal? Her goal is welfare of all. That is why she is the embodiment of compassion, embodiment of karuna. Lakshyatiti Lakshmi. Mother Sita has only one Lakshya. She is constantly contemplating on the welfare of every living being. Doesn't matter, or the prerequisites do not matter for her. This is mother's compassion. All are equally qualified for Bhagavan's grace. That is the reason why it is only in her presence that we see that Sharanagati to Rama becomes fruitful. Throughout Ramayana is Sharanagati Shastra, no doubt. But we see that Sharanagati to Rama is fruitful only in her presence. In her absence, Sharanagati is never fulfilled. No, Lakshmana's Sharanagati to Rama right at the beginning for continued Kainkarya. Lakshmana surrendered to Rama and asked for his Kainkarya to continue throughout. He wanted to accompany Rama. This Sharanagati became fruitful only because of Mother Sita's blessings. Even before Lakshmana, Sita decided to lead the way. Guha's Sharanagati was fruitful only because of Sita Mata's presence. Sugriva's Sharanagati was also fruitful. And one may wonder, Sita Mata was already in Lanka when Sugriva performed Sharanagati to Rama. So how did Sugriva's Sharanagati become fruitful? Sita knew, and beforehand she dropped her jewels, and with that she created an association for Sugriva with her. And it is only because of his association with Mother Sita's jewels, which eventually what he shared with Rama. So therefore, even in Sugriva's Sharanagati, we see Mother Sita's blessings. Vibhishana's Sharanagati was also obviously fruitful, and for this, Mother Sita went upfront all the way proactively to Lanka even before Rama and blessed Vibhishana abundantly. So therefore, her blessings are mandated for our Sharanagati to Bhagavan to be fulfilled. And on this auspicious day of Vijayadashami, we are also blessed to relish Hanuman's victory. Hanuman's victory when Hanuman finally spotted the mother. After intensely searching every nook and corner, we also saw how Hanuman finally reached Ashokavatika, perched on the branch of the Shinshupa tree. He also witnessed the horrifying event when Ravana threatened Sita, and he also witnessed the conversations that happened amongst the Rakshasis and how they also inflicted pain upon Mother Sita. Now, Hanuman was patiently waiting. Hanuman now has a dilemma. He has two choices. Choice number one is to approach Mother Sita and start speaking to her. And Valmiki specifically says, speaking to her in Sanskrita. Now, Sanskrita is the bhasha, the language of those who are learned. And obviously, Navavyakarana Pandita Hanuman is possibly the greatest communicator. So communication is not an issue for Hanuman. But that is a choice. When he is thinking of this choice, he's also worried. What if I begin speaking to the mother and looking at me, a Vanara, she may start to wonder, am I not Ravana in disguise? So will I be successful if I approach her and start speaking to her in the Bhasha, in the Samskrita Bhasha? Now, the other choice Hanuman has, should I remain silent, not really speak? Then, how would I fulfill my mission? How would I console Mother Sita? How would I instill confidence in her? How would I relate to her the good news? So Hanuman is debating, is in a dilemma, evaluating the options. Then Valmiki writes, Katham tanu kalu vakyam me shunuyan udvitejeta. He says, udvijeta. How should I prevent Mother Sita from getting disturbed? Because it is highly likely, all of a sudden, she sees me, a form of a Vanara. It is only fair for her, in that circumstance, surrounded by Rakshasis, Udvijeta is also gripped by with fear. How do I avoid that? Iti sanchitya Hanuman chakara matiman matim. So Hanuman finally made a third choice. Valmiki says he had two choices: directly approaching her and eloquently communicating with her. That was one choice. The other choice was to remain silent. Now Hanuman came out of this dilemma and he said to himself, no, I have a third choice. And what is that third choice? Ramam aklishta karmanam swabandhum anukirtayan nayenam udvedishyami tad bandhugata manasam. Aklishta karmanam. Ramam aklishta karmanam. The one who is tireless. That glories of Rama, the one who is glorious. Now, before I approach Sita and start speaking to her, how do I gain her confidence? How do I instill hope in Sita? So the third choice Hanuman made is a very wise choice. Ishvakunam varishtasya ramasya viditatmanaha shubhani dharmayuktani vachanani samarpayanne shravayishyami sarvani madhuram prabhuvan giram shraddhasyati yata hiyam tatha sarvam samadhathe iti sabahuvidam mahanubhavaha jagatipate pramadama avekshamanaha madhuram avitatam jagamavakyam drumavitham antaram astitaha. The Hanuman now finally made a decision. Let me start singing the glories of Bhagavan, of Rama. Let me not directly address Sita. Let me start singing the glories of Rama. And when I do that, automatically whatever comes out of my mouth has to be Madhura. Ramanama is always sweet. And therefore, let me take this opportunity of not directly addressing her. Before I even address her, let me start glorifying Rama, which naturally comes to me. And when I start doing that, it will also pacify Sita. It will not only instill hope and confidence, it will also make her conducive to listen to me. And therefore, he made that decision. Evam bahuvidam chintam chintayitva mahakapihi. After having deliberated on how he should approach the mother, samshrave madhuram vakyam vaidehyam yajaharaha. Therefore, Madhuram Vakyam. Any sentence spoken with Ramanama in it has to be Madhuram. Any sentence spoken which glorifies Rama has to be Madhura. Therefore, Hanuman made that decision. So Hanuman perched on the Sinshupa tree. Mother Sita is sitting underneath the tree, and now Hanuman begins glorifying Rama, and he starts very interestingly. He starts with glorifying Dasharatha. Now, also, Hanuman needs to ensure that Sita also gets confidence in Hanuman. Raja Dasharato Rama Rathakunjaravajinam Punyashilo Mahakirtihi Ruju Asina Mahayashaha. That great Dasharatha Mahayashaha, the illustrious king of Ayodhya, Raja Dasharato Rama Rathakunjaravajinam, the one who owns hundreds and hundreds of chariots, horses, and elephants, the greatest emperor who ruled, Punyashila Mahakirtihi Mahayashaha. Once upon a time, there was this Maharaj Dasharatha, the renowned illustrious Dasharatha. Rajarshinam Gunasreshtas Tapasa Chashibhis Samaha Chakravarti Kule Jataha Paramdharma Samobale. There is no one who can match him in valor. The Chakravarti who ruled this earth, he was a Rajarishi. He was full of virtues, and therefore he was celebrated as the greatest king. And what is his speciality? Ahimsaratihi akshudraha grinihi satyaparakramaha. The one who always believed in non-violence. One who was magnanimous, large-hearted, compassionate. Mukyaha Ikshvaku Vamshasya Lakshmivan Lakshmivardhanaha. No, he was not only endowed with prosperity, he ensured to work for increasing the prosperity of others. And that is the reason why Dasharatha was blessed. He received the greatest blessing that anyone can ask for. And what is the greatest blessing? Nato Narayano Devo Vishnu Yukta Surasattamaihi Pitaram Rojamanasya Tada Dasharatam Nrupam. Right in Balakanda it is said that Narayana, acceding to the submission of all the Devas and Brahma, when he decided to take the avatar of Rama, he immediately chose then and there Dasharatha as his father, Ikshvaku Vamsha as the Vamsha where he will take the avatar. And Hanuman, basically here, before introducing Rama to Sita, in the process of glorifying Rama, he's glorifying Dasharatha, but actually he's not glorifying Dasharatha, he's setting the stage to basically glorify one of the important gunas of Rama. What is beautiful here is while Hanuman is essentially here recounting the events of Ramayana, what transpired, so that Sita also knows that Hanuman has complete knowledge of what transpired. But in a way, Hanuman here is not just stating some historical facts here. We need to clearly understand here Hanuman, in the process of recounting the events of the past, he is only relishing, experiencing the Kalyana Gunas of Rama. In every event that he is recounting here, we need to understand how he is able to relish Rama's Kalyana Guna. Here, by setting the stage, he is basically saying that Dasharatha was a Mahayashaha, Punyashilaha, and he was Akshudraha, Grinihi, Satyaparakramaha, Ahimsaratihi, Lakshmivan, Lakshmivardhanaha. Therefore, he received the greatest of blessing, and Narayana chose him as his father in the Avatara. And what this shows is the Kalyana Guna of Saushilya of Bhagavan. Bhagavan's Saushilya of descending to Mother Earth and taking avatar of Ramachandra. Tasya putraha priyo jeshtaha taradipa nibanana Ramo nama viseshakyaha sreshtaha sarva dhanushta. So therefore now here Hanuman is now is talking about how Dasharatha was blessed and Rama, Bhagavan took the avatara as a son as Rama. Tasya putraha priyo jeshtaha. Rama was the eldest son of Dasharatha. Bhagavan took the avatara as the eldest son of Dasharatha. Now, here, Hanuman in that process is also relishing the Kalyana Guna of Rama. Taradipa Nibharanaha. Taradipa, with a countenance like a full moon. So very immensely beautiful. Eka Priyadarshanaha. Rama is Eka Priyadarshanaha. Once we look at him, we cannot take our eyes off. Who is uniquely joyful to look at. Chandakara Kirana Mandala Bodhita Pundari Kavana Lunta Kalochana. He has such beautiful, mesmerizingly beautiful eyes. Chandakirana Mandala Bodhita Pundari Kavana Lochana Lunta Kalochana. Like the eyes which compete with fully blossomed lotuses. More beautiful than a fully blossomed lotus which blossoms when the sun rays, when sun rises, the lotus blossoms, his eyes are even more beautiful than that. Now here, Tharadipa Nibhananaha, Bhagavan Hanuman says, and he says, Ramo Nama Viseshajnaha Sreshtaha Sarva Dhanushmatam. He is not only beautiful, he is also he's matchless when it comes to his valor. Sarva Dhanushmatam. So here he also again is celebrating Rama's valor. Khandavarashu Kodanda Prakanda Khandana Shaunda Bujadhanda. He is the one who has matchless valor. Effortlessly he broke the Dhanush of Shivadanush. This in the Raghuvira Gadhya, we see how Vedanta Desika, incidentally today they are also celebrating the Mahacharya's birthday, where Desika celebrates the Kalyana Gunas of Rama. Khandaparashu Kodanda Prakanda Khandana Shaunda Bujadanda, he says. He is the one who effortlessly he broke the Shivadanush in order to demonstrate his valor. Ramo Nama Viseshajyaha Sreshtaha Sarva Dhanushmatam. And Hanuman goes on singing the glories of Rama. Rakshita swasya vrittasya swajanasya apirakshita. Rakshita jivalokasya dharmasya cha aram tapaha. Talks of Rama's beauty. He talks of Rama's valor. And what is the purpose of his beauty? What is the purpose of his valor? There's only one purpose: to protect us. And therefore here Hanuman says, Rakshita swasya vrittasya swajanasya apirakshita. Rakshita jivalokasya dharmasya cha param tapaha. He is Dridhavrataha. He is Dridhavrata. He is firm in his vows. The Kalyana Guna of Dridhavrataha of Rama is one who has taken a firm resolve to protect every living being. He is Sakat Prapanna Janarakshaka. He is taken that vow that he will protect every living being. So therefore, here Hanuman is singing the glories of the Kalyana Guna of Rama, of the Sarvarakshaka. He is the protector of all. And then he goes on to say, Tasya Satya Abhisandasya Vritthasya Vachanam Pituhu Sabharyaha Sahacha Brata Veeraha Pravarjito Vanam. Such is the glory of Rama, having taken birth amidst all luxuries as the next emperor. For only one purpose, he relinquished everything. Everything he relinquished and he walked away. And here Hanuman is celebrating the Kalyana Guna of Rama. Pitruvakya Paripalana Dikshita. Pitruvakya Paripalana Dikshita, which is he being Dharmagyaha. He is the very embodiment of Dharma, and in order to ensure that he always walks on the path of Dharma, Hanuman says, walk the way into the forest, accompanied by Sita and Lakshmana, for only one reason. Tasya satya abhisandhasya vruddhasya vachanam pituhu. The promise that he made to fulfill Dasharatha's promises. And that's actually the glory of Rama. And then Hanuman continues. Now, as Hanuman here is singing glories, he also now knows that he is finally got Mother Sita's total attention. Tena tatra maharanye mrigayam paridhavata rakshasa nihatashuraha bhavaha kamarupinaha. He is the one who effortlessly in Dandakaranya eradicated all the wicked forces, or thousands and thousands of all the Rakshasas. He is Raghuvira, he is Mahavira, he is Mahadhira Dhaureya. Raghuvira Gadya, it is not Rama Gadya. The title Desika chooses is Raghuvira Gadya. He is Viryavan, he is courageous. It is his courage that stands out uniquely throughout Ramayana. Everything he did, unflinching courage, where he demonstrates how to face every calamity in life with courage. And therefore here Hanuman is singing Rama's glories. He is Mahavira, he is Mahadhira Dhaureya, he is Raghuvira, he is the one who, the Viryavan, who effortlessly, single-handedly eradicated. So he cleansed Dandakaranya, removing all the wicked forces, all Ravana's army, thousands and thousands. Janasthana vadam shrutva ataucha karadushanai. Hanuman also needs to here ensure that he recounts all the major incidents so that Mother Sita is also convinced that he is none other than messenger of Rama. Tatattu amarsha apakrita janaki ravanena tu anchayitva vane ramam garupena mayaya. Hanuman also says, and as Rama traveled along with Sita and Dandakaranya, also the unfortunate incident of the Harini, the golden deer, which was enticed Mother Sita, and eventually through deception, that wicked Ravana abducted in the absence of Rama and Lakshmana, abducted Mother Sita. Samargamanastam Devim Ramaha Sitam Itam Asasalavane Mitram Sugrivam Nama Vanaram. Then here he is celebrating Rama's Karunya. He is Sarvabhuteshu Hitaha. He traveled everywhere in order to bless his bhaktas. So he reached out to Sugriva, even before Sugriva could surrender, he reached out and offering hand of friendship. And he is the one who protected Sugriva and who took care of Sugriva's welfare. Tatasamalinam Bhutva Rama Parapunjanjayaha Prayachaka Kapirajyam Tat Sugrivam Mahabalaha. Parapuranjaya. He is the one who is the conqueror of the city of the enemy, the cities of enemy, which is conquering the kingdom which was then handed over to Sugriva from Vali by vanquishing Vali. Sugrivenapi samdishta harayaha kamarupinaha dikshu sarvasutam devim vichinnavanti sahasrashaha. Now, on the command of Sugriva, sahasrashaha, thousands of vanaras who are kamarupinaha, who can take different forms, all of them, all the vanaras were mobilized for the reason of going after searching for Sita. And Sugriva began organizing the search, extensive search across all directions. And Hanuman then says, Aham sampati vachanacha ayo janamayatam asya heto vishalaksha sagaram megavan putaha. And me, based on the directions given by Sampati, I managed to cross the ocean. Asya and Asya Heto Vishalakshya. For the sake of the Vishalakshi, for the Mother Sita, who's Vishalakshi, one with broad, beautiful eyes. Vishalakshi. Sagaram Vegavan Krataha. I crossed over the ocean and I eventually reached Lanka, this place. Yata Rupam, Yata Varnam, Yata Lakshmim, Vinikshita. Now I know. Now I see Mother Sita, he says. Now I see her. That Sita is right in front of me. I see her. She's exactly the same as described in great detail by my master, Bhagavan Rama. Yatha Rupam, Yatha Varnam, Yatha Lakshmim, Vinikshitam, Ashrausham, Raghavasya Sa Yam Asaditayam. This Sita, and he says, I have now found Mother Sita. I have found Sita. I have now found Sita. Now my mission is accomplished. Now I am victorious. I have found Mother Sita. Viraramayevam mukva asawacham vanara pungava janaki cha apitat shukva ismayam paramam gata. After Hanuman concluded, I have now found Mother Sita, Valmiki writes, it seems Mother Sita was thrilled. Apitat shukva vismayam paramam gata. Listening, obviously, what is the foremost thing that Sita would always want to listen to Rama's glories, and now listening to Rama's glories being sung by none other than the greatest of Bhaktas, Hanuman. Sita is extremely pleased. Now, once again, here we are going to see Hanuman soon going to play the role of the Acharya here. And this is the expertise of an Acharya. Expertise in Acharya in inculcating, reviving the desire to hear the glories of Bhagavan and overcoming grief. Overcoming all the griefs in that kind of a situation, surrounded by all the Rakshasis, Hanuman managed to ensure that Mother Sita is greatly pleased and with the beautiful description of Rama. Nishamya Sita Vachanam Kapeshva Dishascha Sarva Padishascha Ikshya Swayam Praharsha Paramam Jagama Sarvatmana Ramam Unasmaranti. She also started now Anusmaranti. Sita now all of a sudden also started to meditate, contemplate on all these glorious gunas of Rama that was beautifully captured as Hanuman recounted all the significant events leading up to his very presence there in Ashoka Vatika. And then Valmiki writes, Sita was looking all over. Where is this beautiful voice coming from? Where is Nirikshamanatam Achintya Buddhi? He's Hanuman, the one endowed with Achintya Buddhi, extraordinary intelligence. Tadashapinga Adipate Amatyam Vatatmajam Suryamiva Udayastam. She could see through beautiful eyes. Hanuman was sitting on the Shinshupa tree. He was on a branch and covered all over all the leaves. So he was partly hidden, partly seen. She could see the two brilliant eyes. And Vadatmajam Suryamiva Udayastam. She could, just like how a sun was rising in the horizon, it seems she saw Hanuman. What a glorious sight. And how blessed we are to witness this very sight as the sun rises looking at Hanuman. But for Mother Sita, it was like sun rising in the horizon. The rising sun heralds hope. Rising sun heralds good news. The rising sun heralds, looking at that little Vanara perch on the seas, gives Mother Sita newfound optimism. And on that note of hope, optimism, and faith, let us wait for the glorious moment when the conversation between the two happen. Until then, let us contemplate on Mother Sita looking at the brilliant form of Hanuman looking like the rising sun. Jai Shri Ram.